Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Ghost Game Episode 9, Warped Time. I'm May, and of course I'm joined by the lovely Quinn.
Hi.
And naturally, the evilly
Evilly
lovely Chloe.
Chloe here
Hello.
for it.
That also honestly works. I was going to say equally, like I always do, but for some reason I said evilly. So the evilly lovely Chloe. It's the evil version of Chloe. Chloe, but in a different hat.
It's true.
Wait, you're saying Chloe was the evil Chloe?
No, this
Yeah,
is
the
terrible.
plot twist.
Somebody out there that's a Chloe more evil than me.
That was
Anyhow.
Chloe. Anyway, so before we get into the discussion, a quick synopsis to recap what happened in this episode. So Hiro starts running late to meetings with his friends and school, and he's oversleeping a lot. He also starts losing time. Hiro then meets Bokumon and Bakumon in a library, and they explain about how Digimon appear in the real world. Clockmon, who we learn is behind the time skips, attacks Hiro once he's alone, but Gamamon half-dark evolves, causing Clockmon's attack to be reflected on him, which causes him to rapidly age. Hiro ends up saving Clockmon, and Clockmon is grateful. Bokumon wants to keep an eye on Clockmon and tells the others he'll teach them how to control their materialization better. Bokumon then says that evolution must be caused by the feelings between Hiro and Gamamon, and then the episode ends.
I would throw in the asterisk that they, foreshadow the dark evolution from that last bit.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Because
I'm here
like
for it,
dark
I guess, but I
evolutions.
sort of wish any other character were getting to be involved.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. Now let's discuss this episode. So first up, what were our highlights?
I liked that this episode was just Time Keeps On Skipping, that Futurama episode where they harvest the time particles.
The first third was
you're
pretty
right.
solid and real trippy. I dug it.
Yeah, the unreliable narrator stuff was actually kind of scary. It was fun.
Yeah, that was kind of, it was kind of creepy, like, almost like an adult fear. Like, imagine if all of a sudden you have, like, these blanks in memory. Like, that's horrifying. Also, by the way, if something like this does happen to you, see a doctor, because Digimon are sadly not real, and it is not a Digimon, and you should probably see a doctor, because the mind is a weird thing.
Scary time
and
skips are
if-
scary, and you should have a professional look at them.
Yeah.
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 But that made this episode kind of scary, because
Yeah.
if this was happening, that'd be terrifying. You know in this episode it's going to be a Digimon, because of course it is, you're watching Digimon. But if you experience this in real life, that's
Yeah, I can see
terrifying.
this being, pretty scary for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Clockmon in general is also just a scary design.
Yeah. The sewn lips stuff is pretty spooky.
Yeah, and just
I,
one of the more, aggressive and basically evil characters we've had so far, which I'm sort of there for.
and I mean, one of my highlights, I think I might be alone here in saying, but I actually liked that they saved Clockmon. Like, I found, the way that it was done made it seem like saving Clockmon was a fairly relatable action to take. It was kind of gruesome to watch Clockmon, rapidly age and fall apart. And when Hiro kind of went, oh, I'll save him, I wasn't mad at him. Sometimes when I'm watching a show and we have the bad guy dying and then the protagonist is like, I'll save you. And I'm like, why? You're going to get attacked.
So, I agree that it was in character for Hiro to do that. I wish there was, any reason to believe that Clockmon won't go around continuing to terrorize random people. But
Oh, it's because this is his second time. So
yeah,
he's good now.
it's fine, because Bokumon's gonna watch him, and I guess that's...
Yeah, that's what I got from it. Bokumon was like,
I know,
I'll watch him and make sure.
It is very convenient and pat and brought together in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
just-
respected though. I don't
It
know
was
if
an
I was.
interesting choice.
I don't
but-
know if I was as into it as you, but I definitely like the hey, be better than the bad guys sort of.
Yeah, it was
vibes.
not a low light
Yeah.
for me. I just wish they'd handled it a little more gracefully, I guess.
Yeah, but they only have 20 minutes to basically
Yeah.
get to the resolution. And it was the problem I had with the the Jellymon episode as well, where it was a good episode, but it felt like it was very, like, the resolution was very fast.
The
like
stories
it spent
they
too
want
much
to do
time.
don't fit well into 20 minutes, which is just a
No.
real problem.
Yeah, but I feel like it's fairly... I mean, a lot of seasons of Digimon, like, they sometimes are stretching sort of events that happen because they have to fill up the 20 minutes, like with evolution sequences. In this episode, I felt like they spent most of the episode talking to Bokumon and doing some world building and also explaining what Hiro was going through, and then a very small amount of time with the actual resolution.
That's fair.
And same with the Jellymon episode,
Yeah.
which I feel like that a lot of these episodes, because they're meant to be episodic and sort of more or less self-contained to one episode or something that makes it easier to jump in, I feel like a lot of these episodes could actually do with being two-parters.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was coming
Like-
to, is I like a lot of what they're doing,
Yeah.
but I really wish that they had 40 minutes to do some of these stories.
Yeah, but, you know, they're doing what the time slot allows for, but it's just... Oh, I really like this episode, but yeah, you're right. The resolution did happen very quickly. But in general, like, I mean, it also had Bokumon in a lab coat, which was my favorite thing. And also the animation was really good. Like, the animation hasn't really dipped.
Well, I don't know. Quinn and I were going back and watching the first episode again after this one, and the first episode looked like way better in my opinion. But like, it hasn't
That's not
been a huge dip.
surprising,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's still, you know, roughly on par.
Yeah, it's about the
Yep,
same.
it's not a... Yeah, but it wouldn't be like a huge drop in the quality. Like, with Adventure Colon, the first episode was really well animated, and then from episode 4 onwards, the animation just significantly dropped. The animation quality, like, I haven't noticed it dropping. It probably, yeah, if you're saying it did drop, it isn't a noticeable way that they've dropped it. if
Yeah,
that makes
no,
sense.
it's been fine.
I
Any other
liked
highlights?
that having Clockmon's eyes just kind of going across the clock means that he was like
That was cool.
in the virtual world just kind of dolphining around with his eyes just kind of arcing through the clocks.
Yeah, it had a lot of good aesthetics, like the
But
eye
yeah,
and
imagining
sort
him
of like the
doing weird
crackles.
flips to get his eyes in the right spots.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty great.
Yeah, I liked it.
Also,
liked
I
this
like to
episode.
imagine him swearing at Hiro a lot while that was happening. Just like a really
Yeah.
profane Echo the Dolphin, I guess.
Something like that.
Basically.
Dang, I feel
Well,
like there was something else
I just
can't
thought
remember.
I just thought this episode was outstanding. Like, and time was fleeting. And Madness, honestly, I think took its toll.
This must be a song.
It's the time warp.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only seen Rocky Horror Picture Show once.
So have I, but for some reason I know all of the lyrics to the time warp.
Yeah. I've seen it
I
a
was a
couple of
theatre kid.
times, and it was definitely ringing a bell, but I couldn't think of the next couple of lines, so, you know.
That's fair. Yeah, good episode. I liked it overall. I think I liked the first 2/3 of it the most, but overall still
Yeah.
liked it.
I mean, again, like, I would say the exact same thing about the Jellymon episode. It has a really strong start, but because it's limited to 20 minutes, it kind of suffered that they couldn't take a bit of time with the conclusion. They had to wrap up the conclusion because they spent most of this episode world building and
And I am
explaining
once again
what the Mon of
mad
the Week was
that
doing.
it was a Hero episode.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind, but if it was another, like, Mon of the Week hero episode, I would have minded. But since it was the Return of Clockmon, I don't mind so much because that was Clockmon. Like, Clockmon does have a vendetta against Hiro, and we had to wrap
Yeah, I
up
suppose.
I suppose
Clockmon at
that's
some
true.
point.
I just wish any other
So-
characters had, like, mattered to the episode. If the other two had not shown up, I don't think it would have meaningfully affected the plot.
Hey, Ruri wanted ice cream, and that was her reason for going to the library.
Yeah, we, I guess, needed a reason to go to the library, but yeah, that's what we got. And
Yeah.
I wish that it were more of an ensemble cast than the Hero show that it has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's changing, like, because the next episode's preview looks pretty good, and looks like it's a Kiyoshiro, the Street Fighter gamer episode, which I'm looking forward to.
We've got thoughts for the next time on speculation section.
Yep.
Oh, that's exciting. I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, in general, I have a lot of highlights for this episode. I really enjoyed it. I don't know why I enjoyed this episode so much, because it would be, the other characters didn't really do much. Like, they kind of just existed to say, hey, Hiro, you're late again.
So,
but
I'm trying to decide, or I can't tell if this was, like an adapted short fiction of some kind that I'm not recognizing. I don't have an obvious reference that they were pulling from, and yet it seems a little better written than a lot of Digimon in the first 2/3. So I'm trying to...
Yeah.
It might have just been original.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessarily have to be based on a folk story or anything.
Digimon can be good
That's
without
fair.
ripping something else off.
It just, I feel like it's a reasonable question to ask. If you out in the crowd have read this particular story, please let me know.
Uh-huh.
Because if so, I'd kind of like to read it.
Yeah, me too. It does sound pretty interesting,
That's all I'm
especially
saying.
with the missing time, but scary.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that sounds like it'd be a really
But,
interesting read. Or
yeah.
whatever media.
Do we have any other highlights? Because I just Pokemon in a lab coat. That's
Pokemon
my
Lab
that's
Coat
my
was pretty
thing.
great.
Uh-huh.
I really want them to open up Pokemon's book and have it be stuff about the legendary warriors.
Oh, and then with a picture of Taichi in it.
A centerfold of Taichi.
Yes, a centerfold
no.
that Pokemon doesn't know about.
Yep.
And it's a centerfold of Namon. Ganpachi! I love Pokemon so much. Like, the highlight of Frontier for me was Pokemon and Namon. Even though I'm fairly certain I hated them when I watched it as a kid, they were like
The dub
one
also
of the
did
few good
not
things.
help on them.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Pokemon, especially Pokemon in the lab coat, which is superior Pokemon.
Yep, best Pokemon.
Do we have any lowlights? Because I actually, except for the fact that I felt like the conclusion was kind of very fast in terms of how they got to it.
Punching
I
your
don't
friends
think I
with
really have
flaming
any
fists is not CPR. Also,
yeah, that happened.
they definitely did not punch in a way that it
Would be
suggested
physically knocking the hands back.
Yeah, like it did not in any way suggest he was knocking the hands back, but I think I'm supposed to infer that's what happened. It just looked like he was beating the crap out of his friend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, imagine if, like, you're out on the street and, like, someone passes out and someone, like, calls out, does anyone know CPR? And you, like, break through the crowd, I do, and you just start punching the person in the face.
No, but I know something
Like-
just as good.
I am a UFC fighter. Ah! I know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, you start beating them up. Like, that's not how you
Don't know
save people.
CPR, but I
it
can
isn't.
definitely kick them in the chest.
It's progressive maintenance, but on people.
Chest compressions.
I mean, I didn't mind that resolution. It was kind of like,
It was fine.
I guess it kind of made sense. Like, how do you reverse a clock? You physically reverse a clock,
Yeah.
or you slow it down. Like, it was. I liked it. It was
I do
very
hope
much.
that
This
at
is
some
just
point
random.
we allow there to be permanent consequences for any actions.
Yeah. That's what I was
thought-
going to say for my low light, actually, is... Although it wasn't the worst case of it, this was another, okay, the bad guy has learned their lesson and Pinky promises to be good now. And walks
but at least
away
they
with a
didn't
slap
talk
on
to
the
him.
wrist, if anything.
I mean, I was kind of just surprised that they didn't end up killing him. Like, I was like, oh wow, we're actually going to kill a Digimon.
Yeah, that's what I was
And then they
thinking,
didn't.
too.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of a bummer
Like,
that
he
we're not.
traumatized a bunch of people and didn't even apologize. He's super unrepentant about it.
Yeah, and he said that he wanted to eat people. Like, that's not cool. And it just, I mean, it would have been nice. For Ghost Game being so scary and so threatening, they really don't have a lot of death.
They're pulling their punches a lot on any sort of consequences.
I mean, I'm
And
just
on
kinda
clocks.
thinking maybe that's like how they're. It might be honestly a little too intense for like the audience they're shooting for. If it is this dark in the episodes and there's like you
Yeah.
know a bunch of death and crap.
I get it.
Yeah, I
I
guess
just
it
wish that
balances
they could shoot that gap a little bit better and not
I
draw
agree.
pretty tonally dissident at the end of every episode.
Yeah, we might see a few by the end of the series,
That's
hopefully, but maybe
Tamui's
just not
got
yet.
away
I
with
don't
it.
know.
But overall, like, I don't even think my lowlight's even low lights. They're just kind of lights. Like, it just, there are better ways that they could have gone, but there's not anything that's particularly wrong with it.
Yeah.
I know, I like this episode if you couldn't tell.
It was pretty good. It may be not a full-on low light for me, but I did kind of roll my eyes at Clockmon, where he was like, I'm going to do the exact same thing to Gamamon that I did last time and hope that it goes better this time.
Yeah. I didn't want to mess with a wild card like you, but I'm going to try doing nothing different.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it was a good episode.
Yep. Yeah. What about favourite character? Mine was definitely Bokemon in the lab coat.
I can't blame you.
Chloe, who was yours?
I think they might have finally gotten me to say Gamamon.
Yay!
Yeah, it was. I quite liked Gamamon actually being concerned about Hiro earlier when he was having his time skips, and it was nice to have him not be quite so infuriating. I want to say, even though that's not quite what I mean.
Yeah,
no,
a little less
getcha.
childishly just kind of annoying a lot of the time.
But he was still plenty childish, but just showing that he, can be serious at least, or, can realize when something is a big deal.
Yeah. And Quinn, who was your favourite?
I'm actually going to give it to Hiro. He had some actual pathos this episode. It was surprising.
That's good. So I think this is the first time we've all chosen different characters. Oh no, we have chosen different characters, but it just doesn't happen very often. What about rating out of 5?
Can you pull up the thing?
Because I gave this a 5. I really, really just enjoyed this episode. I just found it was fun. I like that we got Clockmon's resolution of the story. I like how we got world building. Bokemon in a lab coat was there. There was just a lot that I liked, and just thinking about, there's not really much that I didn't like except for what they could have done, but I enjoyed watching it. It was fun to watch. And Bokemon in a lab coat, yeah.
Pokemon in a lab coat was pretty great.
Yeah. Chloe, do you know what you're giving it out of 5?
I think I'd probably put it about a 4. I liked it, but I don't think I liked it as much as you did.
Yeah, that's fair. And Quinn?
The same.
4? And what about how we're putting it in our rankings?
Let's see.
Because overall ranking, it got 13 points, and that means that it is tied for episode 2. So, do we like it more than episode 2? That was the Mummymon episode, or less than episode 2?
I would say less personally, but that's me.
See, I was gonna say more.
I was going to say more.
Well, I'll let you two break that tie.
Okay, we'll put it in. So it's second place for overall, and in my ranking, it's first place because I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm just in a good mood today because I hung up Christmas lights, and that just put me in like a forever good mood that I just enjoy everything. But I just enjoyed this episode. It was just fun, and yeah, I liked the Jellymon episode, but this episode I liked a little bit more than that because I at least felt like the resolution was a little bit less fast, but it was still very fast.
That's fair.
Do y'all know where you're putting it in your own rankings?
4th place for me.
I think it'll be under episode 3 for me, which I think would be 6th place.
So yeah, that's 6th place. But overall, like it is nice to look at the ratings graph and have us all like give above 3s most of the time. It is just really refreshing after Adventure Colon to actually. Even though, like, this is probably the most I think we've varied in our opinion of an episode.
Yeah, I think so.
But even then,
that being said, you're
not like
absolutely begging for the next episode to be terrible.
Yeah.
So maybe stop saying that.
Yeah, no more of that. No more of that.
No, next episode's gonna be great.
I really hope so. It looks great.
It does look really good.
But I mean, I know I gave this episode a 5, but it's like. I kind of felt a little bit guilty giving it 5. I only gave it a 5 because I gave the Jellymon episode a 5, but I really think that it can do better than this. I think that this could be a 4 and the Jellymon episode could be a 4 and then we could have like something else that's above it because I want us to do better. Alright, so time for predictions and pondering and Postmon Pat. First up for Postmon Pat, we have Knight, who says that Seal starts up as the edit of Noir, but they're now like all sisters, and how now he wonders if we're going to be getting Systemon in the future to fill the perfect ultimate and the ultimate mega stages. So that'd be kind of cool. And then Lillian suggests Bill Starmon could work as an ultimate mega for them. And I think that'd be cool. Next, we have Pastelmon, who says that a sitcom with Ciel and Jellymon as roomies, but destroying the apartment in every episode would be awesome. With Kiyoshiro as a recurring character, maybe. Yes, let's do that. Let's fund it. Let's fund the "and they were roommates" version with Systemon, Ciel, and Jellymon. Like, kind of, or like, kind of like The Odd Couple with Kiyoshiro. Yes, let's do that. Next, we have TGS, who says they gave this episode 3.5 out of 5. They agreed that it was filler done right, with a little bit of plot with Black Gatomon. Systemon was a fun villainmon, and her being in the anime, and they liked that the 6 main characters' dynamic worked together, which is something that they have been trying to do these last few episodes. Systemon summoning Metal Phantom onto the race, they took as her being an adrenaline junkie and wanting to have the real risk or danger. And they wonder if they might come back to this episode plot since it left some stuff that could be returned too, like the Digimon captured by Metal Phantomon. Could be cool to refight some of the villains when the partners are able to evolve and closer match them in power. Yeah, that'd be cool, but I also really like Metal Phantomon. And I mean, I know we said that in this episode, like, Digimon don't really die, but I guess I forgot that last episode they were kind of, like, absorbed, which is almost death.
Yeah, but I absolutely expect to see them again.
Yeah, like, we will defeat Metal Phantomon and they will come back out of the scythe, just like, Clockmon vomited up everyone's time in the first episode.
Yeah, we're really not going to commit to casual death if we get any at all.
Just Vor.
That's different. That we can do, because instilling a fetish is different.
We haven't had any Vor yet, have we? I don't think we have.
Clockmon wanted to commit Vor.
He wanted to eat humans' time, though. Specifically.
In a Vory way.
Only because his mouth was already sewn shut.
Horrifying.
See, I feel like if anything, that's more implication that it explicitly isn't Vor. Like, how is he gonna eat with his mouth sewn shut?
I'm just saying, he's already committed Vor in the past. He's been...
Oh, that's why his mouth was sewn shut?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, horrifying.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But, I don't mean, I guess... The Metal Phantomon absorbed them, which is like pseudo-Vor, but we're completely off the topic. This I don't know how we managed to get to Vor when the question, like the comment didn't even involve Vor.
LostinTranslationmon.
No, stop.
Vor
anyway, lastly, we have Andrew, who said that they want to know what we think about the standalone episodes where the Digimon sort of flee the episode to never be seen again. And, I mean, I wish that there was more plot.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that was good for, like, the start of the show where we're just sort of learning the mechanics of the world and world building. But I'm ready to, like, see more than just that, where it's not just, like, various Mon of the Week, I feel like that's what we're going to have.
I was a little disappointed by Pokemon just being like, oh, by the way, Digimon can be exactly as tangible as they feel like, more or less.
Exactly as tangible as is plot convenient.
And then Andrew says they have to give credit that the previews don't spoiler anything, no shadow figures of new evolutions, and Systemon was a surprise. And yeah, I guess that's something that I'm noticing, like these previews aren't giving away as much as what we had for Adventure Colon, and we don't get the, hey, who will be next on the Digimon Encyclopedia? And then it's the evolution for the next episode. And the titles
come out and they just tell you what the plot is.
Yep.
Yeah, like, all of these episode titles are pretty, like, vague. Like, Game of Death. And we know that it involves video games. But not much else.
Yeah. But that being said, I'm pretty sure we're doing extended Sword Art Online jokes next episode, so I'm pretty here for it.
Yeah. Anyway, so what are our thoughts about the series so far?
It's got potential.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not as optimistic as I was in, like, week 1 and 2, but I still am optimistic in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as pessimistic as I was, like, the whole time I've been like, oh, what if it's just as bad as Colon? Because I did not really enjoy Colon, so I'm kind of being, like, pessimistic, but I don't think I'm as pessimistic.
The writing staff
but I don't think
seems like they're just batting better so far. The worst episode of this is, I would say, better than some of the best episodes of Colon.
Yeah, like the Saiyanmon episode we all sort of didn't like that much, but it is still better than more enjoyable to me at least, than 80% of Colin, probably.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, like, I didn't hate it, it just wasn't the same standard of the other episodes of Ghost Game.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, if they can keep anything like it up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah, me too.
Don't care what's going on with Dad, but I feel like we're going to spend a lot of time figuring out what's going on with Dad.
Yeah.
What if, this is just an off-the-wall prediction, and it's definitely not happening, but what if, like, we have him, like, he fell in love with a Digimon and is now married to a Digimon in the digital world?
I mean, if nothing else, Hiro's mom is still nominally around, and I feel like we gotta explain that to her.
Yeah.
What if Hiro is half Digimon, and Hiro's mum is a Digimon?
I mean, she was just at work when Dad disappeared.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But she can still be a Digimon.
I mean,
she can be one
she
of the
could be
humans.
tangible.
She's just a sister mod. She wears enough makeup.
Oh, that would be
it is,
a little weird.
plot twist, it's Seal. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing that Digimon's done.
It'd be up there, for me at least.
I feel like there should be Translationmon fetish reference bingo.
You're not wrong.
Somebody
but,
will
know,
make it, I'm sure.
In our defense,
like,
Digimon did it first most of the time.
Yeah, it's like, I know I mention this every time, but, like, Totally Spies has its own version of that bingo, because of course it does.
Oh yeah, Totally Spies, like, was intentionally creating fetishes.
What?
It is weird. Like, I never picked up on it as a kid, and I'm looking like, this is
ask
weird.
Sybil about it sometimes, because Sybil has a podcast
no.
I'll totally reprise.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh no, rabbit hole time.
Yep, it's gonna be a whole thing, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, episode 10 is called Game of Death. What are our predictions for episode 10?
I really hope that Kyoshiro's gonna take off his bandages so that he can game better. He'll have, like, runes on his hands that allow him to move his fingers faster.
I hope that someone accidentally calls Kiroshiro Kirito.
That's funny.
I hope we have someone says something along the lines of, if you die in the game, you die in real life.
I am hoping for an evolution episode.
Yeah,
for Jellymon.
Nice.
Yeah, for someone besides Hiro, please.
And it looks like this could be a Jellymon episode, so I mean, it's not impossible.
If it's Kiyoshiro, I suppose it's more likely to be Jellymon than anyone else, yeah.
And while I don't necessarily think it will actually happen, please let it not just be Gamamon that gets a Dark Evolution this season.
Yeah.
I think that it may just be Gamamon.
It's probably just going to be Gamamon.
It probably will just be Gamamon.
But if they weren't cowards, they'd do it next episode with Jellymon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be here for it, even though they won't.
No, they will not, but they should.
We're gonna... okay, so are we gonna have Digimon go into the digital world and find this fighting game and fight for them, you think? I could see that.
That's Atmon. That's very Atmon.
That's pretty Atmon, but I don't think we're going into the digital world just yet. We gotta go on a quest for the digital
I don't
gate.
think the kids will. I think the Digimon will, because they said the Digimon can go in and out as they please.
Some
can. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we? I guess not.
Probably not. That might be a little too plot convenient.
Yeah.
But I suspect Blacktailmon can.
Alright everyone, so thanks for listening. You can find the link dump in the description, and so is our Redbubble. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon. I forgot words. Email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com. I almost said Gmail at LostinTranslationmon. There we are. LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, and send us spam. You can comment on this episode on our website, LostinTranslationmon.com, or on this episode on YouTube. We have a Twitter, which is at Translationmon, and you can find us on Lost in Translationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm at Digimon_Hero on TikTok. Hero is spelled Hiro. And I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/translationmon. You can also chat with us on the Lost in Translationmon Discord server, and we would appreciate if you would review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any other podcast listening app you use. Because if we find the review, we'll read it out. And if we don't find it, please point it in my direction so I can read it out. You can also donate to my Patreon, which linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of our Discord server, but there are higher levels, more rewards, such as unedited and early episodes, and more, so check that out. And of course, thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wild164 on Archive Our Own, Kaidawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lismet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Emery from Gone While Hunting a Hunter Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, JasonMon05, Patrick, Jason, Grey Tanuki, Jay David, Shelby, Digital Hazard, and Dedicated Ghazi. You can also make a one donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. And of course, I also have my Coffee account, which is ko-fi.com/Airdra. So thanks y'all for listening, and of course, thank you for my evil and lovely co-hosts. Quinn, can we find you anywhere?
Nope.
And Chloe?
In my subterranean lair of villainy.
Oh,
I like
come
that.
on, that's being remodeled and you know it.
God, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm on the
But
server.
yes. Yeah, we're on the server,
Yeah,
so you can
same.
come chat with us about Digimon and not Digimon and being evil, because Chloe's evil now.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe was always
But
evil.
always evil. Not now. We only just know about it now. Of course.
She finally came out.
But yay!
But the real
in
question
any
is
case,
chaotic.
yeah. You'd hope so.
I just won't even say, and maybe that'll give you your answer.
Mysterious.
Alright, so thanks for listening, thanks for joining me, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.